I know you were bullish on the prospects of Microsoft acquiring TikTok or parts of its assets. Obviously, kind of a really surprise move by the Chinese government late in the day on Friday. Their first update, by the way, to that banned export technology list in 12 years. Surprising timing, right? Does that reduce the chances of any deal ever happening?
Yeah, Brian, I think that's the direct answer. I think you know the answer to that question too. This is going to get more complicated, and you've got two groups of suitors, but an asset now who the level of restrictions really on both sides is going to make this an extremely complicated deal. So we assume it still goes forwards, but it's hard to. There are factors here that are almost impossible to handicap.
Yeah, like you're basically going to need a license if you're ByteDance to sell TikTok's American assets, which means the Chinese government either A, wants something from the American government, they're probably going to use that as some kind of leverage over any possible deal, or B, is afraid of what technology might be found out by the United States buyer and ban that deal. What do you think is the most likely of those two outcomes?
I think it's more likely the first, that there'll be some horse trading required here. And if I just step back a little bit, look, there's the reason that we're involved in this in the first place. The reason that we're talking about this is that TikTok is a fascinating asset, has gained an enormous amount of momentum globally. In the U.S., our survey work showed that about 31% of social media users were engaged with TikTok. That's not up at Facebook and Instagram levels, but we're starting to get close to Snapchat, which is more like 50% in our survey work. So there's a really dynamic, great user interface asset that a lot of companies would be interested in buying, more than just those two that have been listed. There's a couple other maybe more natural suitors, but I don't think regulations would allow those companies to step in and buy this. But it's a fascinating asset. And if Microsoft Consortium or the Oracle Consortium could get this asset at a reasonable price, I think it'd be good for either company, either consortium.
I understand Microsoft Walmart a little bit. You've helped make sense of it. Others have too, Mark, in terms of consumer marketing, data on users, data on potential shoppers. Get it. Oracle, basically a back-end database companies with some ERP software on the front side. I don't understand. Can you help us make sense of that?
I'm not sure I can either. I think in both cases, you've got enterprise-first companies looking to buy a clearly consumer, pretty much only company. So that's why there's this question about whether they're natural suitors. Brian, you did make a point that I think is really fascinating here. We're at an inflection point. Earlier this year, because of COVID, fortunately or unfortunately, we've seen this dramatic acceleration in online retail growth. We've also seen dramatic acceleration in social media growth. The companies right in these alleys, the Amazons, the Facebooks, have shown these really accelerated growth, at least Facebook in terms of users, Amazon definitely in terms of users and revenue. And what's coming out of this is this great opportunity for social commerce. You're seeing some great experiments from Facebook and Instagram right now, and Pinterest in this space. And now you're just starting to see TikTok catch up. It's not really behind the curve because there hasn't been a curve. It's just started to hit this year. That's a very interesting new element, and that's what makes the Walmart part of the Microsoft consortium so interesting.
Could you have ever imagined that TikTok would have become this type of an asset 1 year ago, Mark? I mean, it was, it was novel. No. It was interesting. It used to be called Musical.ly. I remember my kids singing along to it. It's basically like a video song, I think of MTV in certain ways. Is there another TikTok that you see? Triller was mentioned.
Yes.
I don't even know really who that is. Is there somebody you see coming down the pike that might be the next TikTok or the next big thing? Because we've seen to learn that these social media companies, maybe with the exception of Facebook, I mean, they come fairly quickly up and gain market share fast.
Hey, I think that's a great thing. It shows that if people can come up with innovative products, they can gain a tremendous amount of momentum and a lot of users. That's kind of what we all want as market participants. And it's been great for a lot of consumers who have enjoyed their time or wasted their time, as they have on some parts of other social media assets. There's this other product that's now in the market, Instagram Reels, which, as far as we can tell from our testing, has got a lot of features. A lot of the user experience is very similar to TikTok. It's a good, fun experience. So it's probably a check in a positive camp for Instagram. Facebook, because it's going to increase engagement on that site. Whether it would long-term really have a negative impact on TikTok, I don't know if we'll ever find out, because we've got these other issues now impacting TikTok. But the TikTok came in, they saw this great market opportunity for AI-generated, algorithmically generated, user-generated video content. And they took a very different approach than Quibi, and they nailed it. They got the user experience right. Hats off to them. It also means that other companies missed this opportunity, like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, although Facebook, Instagram seem to be quickly catching up.